What's going on, y'all? Today I want to talk to y'all about my baseball story. I played baseball when I was younger. One season, like more like half a season, but you'll find out more about that later. So basically, I want to let y'all know. First of all, you can get a lesson out of any experience that you ever had. There are no losses in life, only lessons. Shout out to Charlamagne, I got that from him. But he's true when he says that. So even a lot of things you may look back on your life, all your experiences count for something. Even if you didn't, you gained something out of it, whether it just be a lesson for you to take on and apply in other areas of your life. But I'm gonna give you my baseball story. Y'all see what lesson you get from it. Well, first and foremost, I remember my mom took me to the West End Community Center. It's a place where I grew up. Hadn't been there in years, and she took me back over there to sign me back up for it. Because she couldn't take me to school in the morning. So she took me back to the West End Community Center, and first person I see when I walk in there is one of my friends I grew up with. And there was this guy. So I'm talking to my friend. And some guy comes and he's handing out baseball flyers, like, sign up for Elmwood Little League. Elmwood Little League is probably one of the most prominent leagues, baseball leagues, youth leagues in Rhode Island. So he comes by, he's giving the flyers out, and my friend's like, yeah, man, we should join it. We should sign up. I'm like, for baseball? I mean, who plays baseball? Most of my friends, I'm black, most of my friends play basketball or football. Baseball, I don't know, excuse me for my ignorance if I'm saying this wrong, but I think a lot of black people kind of moved away from baseball and in current years. Black people played baseball back in like Jackie Robinson's day, back in the day. But my generation of kids, we had kind of just moved off from baseball. Everyone like basketball and football. I think it's just more instant gratification. In baseball, you have to wait. You go from high school or you go to college and play college ball. But when you get drafted, you go to the minor leagues. Then you have to work your way up and eventually make it up to a team. Not in basketball, not in football. You go to football, you get recruited. If you're good, you get recruited from a college. You go there. If you're good there, go to NFL. You get drafted directly to the NFL. Same thing with basketball. You're great in high school, you get recruited to a college, you're great after that. And these days, you only have to be in college for 1 year. Matter of fact, back in the days, you could go, a lot of people, like Kobe, LeBron, Tracy McGrady, they went straight from high school to the pros. Now they have a 1 year rule. But even at that, that's not too bad. A lot of the kids, they're going straight from the pros. I mean, these guys are like 18, 19 years old, turning pro. What would you rather do? Would you rather go straight pro or have to go to the minor leagues and work your way up? Our culture these days, we're all about instant gratification. And black people, with our history with America, we've been lied to a lot. We're not willing to wait. I've done all the work. I'm one of the best players in the country. Now I have to go to the minor leagues and work my way up. That makes no sense, at least to us, and a lot of other kids. But anyway, I digress. Back to my story. Me and my friend, we're sitting there. He's passing out the baseball card sign-up sheet, and my friend pretty much just convinced me to play. And I'm like, okay. It should be fun. At least I'm there with friends. But I always been one of the kids who I enjoy doing things a lot more with my friends there. If it's just me by myself, it's kind of hit or miss. But when I'm with my friends, I always have a good time. So since he was signing up, I figured maybe some more of my friends will sign up. It should be a good time. So I, get my mom sign up. She filled out the form, handed it back in, and then I want to say like a couple days or weeks later, I'm at the community center again. See my friend, like, oh yo, so you signed up for baseball? Yeah, I think it's about to start in a couple days. And he's like, what? Are you crazy? Hell no, I'm not signing up for no baseball. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, but just last week you said, and he act like he had no idea what I was talking about. But unfortunately now, I'd already told my mom, and I had one of the type of moms where if I sign up for something, she did not let me quit. So even as much as I was kicking and screaming, like, oh, I don't want to go, she's like, hey, well, you made me sign up. You made me spend my money. You're playing. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll make the best of it. So they bring me there. She brings me over there to the Elmwood Little League baseball field. There's probably like hundreds of kids. Well, not hundreds, but there's a decent amount. Maybe like 100 to 200 kids there. And they're breaking them down and putting them in different teams. The one thing I noticed, it was me, a lot of Spanish kids, and a lot of white kids. No black kids. I mean, I was one of the, it might have been a couple, a few of them sprinkled here and there, but for the most part, it was mainly Spanish and white. I got no issues with Spanish or white people, but I like to see my people when I go places. I grew up in the hood, so I'm used to seeing my people all around. And to go somewhere and there's just none of us, I mean, it's a little awkward, but I make the best of it. I decided, I'm gonna stick around and just see how it goes. Who knows? I always enjoyed playing baseball at the rec center. It was more like a makeshift field. We kind of would just do our own thing. It was more like if you see kids playing baseball in the street, it was more like that. It wasn't like we actually went on a baseball diamond and really played. But it was always fun. Now I'm playing a structured league, and I didn't really know how that was gonna go. But again, my mom made me, so I had no choice. So we start playing. I get on a team. It's called a Regency Mart. All the teams were sponsored by different local stores. So my team was Regency Mart. Pretty much just me and a bunch of Spanish kids. So we start playing. Off the bat, I'm actually one of the better players on the team. I was doing my thing. I don't know how much I realized it at that. I think I was still learning because it was my first ever time being on a baseball team, so I didn't really know if I was doing good or bad. Around the time we started getting to the games, the game started, my team was horrible. But I remember a kid came to the bat. I played shortstop, by the way. So the other team was up the bat. He hits the ball, it's a grounder. It seemed like it was headed towards the third base, and the guy who was playing third base, I didn't know if he was gonna get it or not. Because it was just a ground. It was really fast. It was really grounded. I don't know. But it's like my instincts just kicked in. And I'm just like, I don't know. He kind of looks like he's going to miss this. So I kind of ran over to where he was supposed to be. Well, not where he was supposed to be, but I backed up a little bit in the area. So just in case he missed it, I'd be right there to grab the ball. And it turns out my instincts were correct. He missed it. I grabbed it, tossed it to him. Boom. And it was their third out. Now it was our turn to bat. And I swear, by the end of the game, my coach is like, he gave me a pound and he's like, excuse me, guys, watch out the way. This is my best player right here. And you can't tell me no stuff like that. I'm the type of person, it don't take much to get to my head. I get gassed real easy. Somebody tell me I'm the best player, I believe them. And then I start acting like I'm the best player. It was almost like I was a multi-million-dollar all-star player on an MLB team where I'm getting star treatment. I wasn't necessarily getting star treatment, but in my head, I'm giving myself star treatment. So I start slacking off, start showing up to practice when I wanted to. Because, I'm already the best player. So unless someone comes in and takes my spot and pushes me to work hard, I'm going to just slack off. Unless someone challenges my spot as the alpha on the team, at least in talent, hey, I could just do what I want to do. And slowly but surely, things started going left. My other teammates who was always at practice, they start getting better and better and better and better until eventually they passed me, and by the time I finally, I don't know, I might have missed a week of practices, a week, two, I don't know how long. I just know it was a while since I had been there. And when I came back, the coach said, he goes, yeah, you haven't been here in a while, but a lot of guys, they're a lot better now. And he told me they're past you, they've improved past where you are. Since you weren't here learning with everyone else, your teammates have passed you. And I didn't believe it at first until we actually got out there, and he was right. They had passed me. And even though I was great defensively, doing as shortstop, I was never much of a hitter. When we first would start hitting, the coach would pitch to us underhand. By the time we get to the game, they're throwing 60, 70 mile fastballs. At least that's where I see them. I don't know exact mileage of the balls, but I figure, kids at that age, they could probably throw 60, 70 mile balls. The majors, they're throwing 90. So, but anyway, I was never much of a hitter. I might have only I striked out every single time. There was one time where I hit the ball and it was a fly ball, and then they caught me and got me out. My only hit that I got, I still got out because they caught it. Now I can't hit, and defensively, everyone else has improved past where I'm at. So now I'm literally, it's like I go from the best player on the team to the damn near the worst player on the team. And I go from starting, constantly being on the field, to sitting on the bench and just watching the whole game. And that's where things started to deteriorate, because I really never was that into it in the first place. I enjoyed it when I was doing good, so I started thinking like I thought before, I don't really like baseball anyway, I stopped making excuses, start missing practices, and then eventually I just stopped showing up altogether. I still think of that time when I caught that ball and I let my instincts take over, and I had great instincts. I'm like, man, if I was on pace to being the best player, had I just showed up to practice, to quote Allen Iverson, practice? We talking about practice? But yeah, had I showed up to practice, had I gave it my all, had I improved my work ethic, who knows where I would be right now. I might have got a scholarship to go to college. I might have, got a scholarship to go to a good high school, then college. I let laziness, I let a little bit of praise get to my head, and next thing you knew, I'm the worst player on the team. Next thing you knew, I couldn't deal with being if I don't know if too many people have done that, going from being considered the best player on the team to considered completely polar opposites. That seems to be a theme in my life, where I go from being the best of something to the worst, or I start off as being one of the worst to one of the best. You'll see that in future videos. You'll see that theme a lot. I have this strange ability to just somehow be on opposite ends of the spectrum at the same time, or within the same short time period. Again, I might have had a lot of natural ability, but I feel like just having poor work ethic, poor attitude, not a lot of respect for the game, respect for my teammates, respect for my mom's money who paid for it, respect for my coaches. They say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And this is a perfect example of this situation right here. I might have been the most gifted, naturally talented player on the team, but by not working hard, not showing up to practice, the other players, they showed up there, and eventually, next thing you know, I'm riding the pine, and again, my ego couldn't take that. I eventually stopped showing up altogether, and who knows what I could have did? Who knows the heights I could have took it to? I've always been somebody who had pretty good hand-eye coordination, so I think as far as me hitting it or not being, lack thereof, I eventually would have, like I said, gotten better. I would have, went to practice, been hitting balls, eventually improved to who knows how the team could have done. But like I said, these are just the lessons you need to learn in life. You apply them to your future endeavors or your future life situations, and they only make you a better person. Work ethic, attitude, these things are a lot more important than I thought they were. When you're a kid, you think that the coaches are just, you think they're just talking. When they tell you all these different things, or you need to come to practice, you need to work hard, you need to give your 110% at all times. You're just brushing them off like, they're just talking. You don't need to do that. If you're good, sometimes being talented or naturally talented can actually be a hindrance on you. Because if you're somebody who your talent isn't up to par with the other kids, it makes you work that much harder. It kind of gives you a chip on your shoulder. It gives you something to work for and strive towards. Like, I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna go to practice, then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna hit some more balls. I'm gonna go to the batting cages, hit some more. I'm gonna run even when I'm not at practice. And that's how the truly great players, that's how they become who they are. Hard work, there's no way around it. There's no cheat code to it. There's no shortcuts. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. It's just a fact. Just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So y'all could take from that what y'all want to take from it. In the comments, tell me some of y'all stories. Have y'all played baseball or any other sport, and you haven't worked hard? You dealt with something similar to what I had to deal with? Or have you seen somebody who was extremely talented at something, just didn't work hard at it, and kind of just wasted away? Watch me out in other videos. I got some more sports stories coming. Keep it locked. Peace.